A while back, I did a video where I ranked the original 9 Love Live girls from Muse, and at the time, I had not seen the anime, and I said I don't need to see the anime, and I was very rude about it. Well now, I am here to rank all 27 Love Live girls, and I have seen all the anime now. I'm not going to apologize for that previous video. I was still right, but the rankings since then have changed a bit. I have seen all of the Muse anime, including the movie, all the Sunshine anime, including the movie, and the Nijigasaki anime. I have played the All-Stars game, I have played the original game, so now here is my authoritative ranking of all 27. Now, annoying people out there may be going, hey, hold on, there's actually more than 27, because in All-Stars, the phone game, listen, that's a spoiler, alright? So I'm not going to include other characters outside of the original 9. Hey, there's a protagonist girl in the Nijigasaki anime. I'm not including her. It's only going to be the original 9, the Sunshine 9, and the original Nijigasaki 9. 27 girls. Time to make some people real bad. Number 27, the worst girl in Love Live, is Shizuku. Shizuku is so fucking boring. There is nothing going on here. I'm an actor. That's it. And she's not even a particularly interesting actor. I think she has a fun dynamic with Kasumi, but it's really weak. Like, it's not even that interesting to watch. I just feel like there was nothing here. Why was this girl chosen to be one of the Nijigasaki girls? Every time I see her on screen or in the game, she's so bland. And I thought other girls were bland, but these Nijigasaki girls, there are some blandos here. Number 26, Emma. Pretty bland. Slightly more interesting than Shizuku. She's got this whole foreigner thing, like, I'm from Switzerland, and oh, I like, children, dancing with children, and I'm so friendly. I'm like Heidi or whatever. Okay, at least you've got something. At least you've got something. And, in the anime, she has a kind of a nice, dynamic with Karin. So she has something, but it's still almost nothing. Number 25, Ayumu. Ayumu, boy, as far as like main girls go in Love Live, the weakest of all. In the anime, she's slightly more interesting because, well, she has like the same storyline I feel in the game and the anime, but they're like slightly different, but they're both like, I want the main protagonist for myself. And it's, listen, I appreciate the gayness. I appreciate that. Because there's a great scene in the anime where it's very dramatic. It's great. But it's also like, Sunshine has a similar storyline with Yo, where Yo is kind of, feel jealous of Riko hanging out with Chika all the time. But Sunshine handles it very well, and I'll get to that later. Ayumu doesn't, it's not really handled that well. It's just sort of like, I love the protagonist, and that's it. And kind of weirdly possessive. And she's fucking boring, on top of that. She's slightly more interesting in the anime, but not by much. Number 24, Ai. Now, I actually don't mind Ai. Like, I think she's fun, but she's kind of underdeveloped for me. Like, I get it. Oh, she, like, is surprisingly kind of, she has interesting interests despite her looks. Oh, she looks like this sort of, like, I don't know, like, not gyaru, but kind of like, oh, this popular hot girl, but she likes grandma's pickles and puns, and she's kind of old-fashioned, and I like that angle. And I honestly, I like the character fine. Like, I would say she's a tier above the bottom 3, but not that much going on. I do like in the anime that she's kind of like the older sister type to Rina. That's kind of a nice dynamic, but I think this is just like, there's not enough for me right now. It's not really Ai's fault. With the Nijigasaki girls, there's kind of like a grain of salt of like, okay, you guys haven't been around as long. You only have one core anime season right now. I'll cut you some slack. I like her design. I just wish she was a little more interesting, but not bad. Number 23, Hanamaru. Oh boy, Hanamaru. Like, I like Hanamaru. Again, we're in the category where I like these characters. But, man, Sunshine's a great cast, and Hanamaru does not have a lot to do at all besides eat. And listen, I like eating, you know, I can appreciate that. I think it can be an endearing character quirk, and I think she has a fun dynamic with Yoshiko and Ruby. I like Ruby and Hanamaru's friendship, but it kind of feels like ground that's been covered. She just doesn't stand out to me as much. Like, she's kind of plain. I think she was always my least favorite Sunshine girl, and the anime didn't really change that for me. Number 22, Karin. Karin is fine. I think she has a more interesting dynamic in the anime, where she's kind of like aloof. Well, she's still aloof in the game. I think my favorite part about Karin is that she is one of those blushy girls, right? Where she's really cool and aloof, but if she gets flustered, I'm all about that fluster. But I think this is also just a case where she hasn't been around long enough, and we have characters that have already done this before. The whole, like, I'm the sexy one doesn't really do anything for me. If she could be allowed to be more expressive and show more of her insecurities, which the anime does a little bit, and the game does a little bit, but I'd love to see more. It's more fun to see characters more flustered, and she's a little flat for me. 21, Kanan. Kanan feels like Karin's evolution. They're not exactly the same character, but they're similar. Kanan is also sort of in the anime, she's kind of aloof. She's nice, but she's, you know, detached, right? And kind of sporty. And then, I think, again, what makes Kanan fun is once, you know, the sort of facade melts away, she's, like, easily scared and, like, easily flustered. Kind of like Ellie. Sunshine, for me, watching that anime, I loved that anime. I was blown away by how good that anime was. And unfortunately, characters like Kanan and Hanamaru just don't really stack up against just the sheer force of how good some of these other characters are. She and Mari are basically married, and I like that, but... Number 20, Rin. It's our first Muse girl. Rin is still bottom girl for me in Muse, but I do like Rin more now. There's a great episode in Love Live anime where Rin has to sort of deal with, like, I feel like I'm very boyish, but I want to, you know, dress up in, like, you know, a wedding dress, or, like, I want to wear, like, girly clothes, and she's very self-conscious about it. And it's a very sweet story. Like, you know, it sort of boils down to the other girls just accepting her, like, yeah, we love you, Rin, like, you know, and yeah, we support you wanting to, you know, be more feminine, even though you feel you're not feminine enough, or whatever that means. You know, it's just it's a really lovely moment, and that alone skyrockets her up. If without that episode, she might have actually been down pretty low, but no, I thought that episode was great. But then after that, she's still just kind of, yeah, that's it. Number 19, Hanayo. Now, listen, Hanayo and Rin are basically married, so I'm glad they're next to each other. And Hanayo is also a character that went up for me. Didn't really stand out to me in the game. In the anime, I love her earnestness. You know, she's shy and she's easily flustered, but she really loves idols. That sort of, like, obsessive, you know, expertise of idols is really endearing. She has a lot more, like, forthrightness and development in the anime, which I like. And, you know, honestly, she should have kept the glasses. The glasses were great. I think my favorite scene in the first anime, period, is the scene where Honoka, Umi, and Kotori do their performance and nobody's there. To me, it's like, it's heartbreaking, it's inspiring, it's just wonderful. And Hanayo is like the first sort of, like, ray of sunshine, right? Like, she comes in like, oh, what? I thought we were doing a performance. Like, or I thought the performance was here. And she gives Honoka the sort of, like, push to, let's do it. Even if one person is watching, doesn't matter how successful we are, the show must go on. It's wonderful, and Hanayo is part of that. So yeah, Hanayo and Rin, I do like these characters, and they're married. Number 18, Kotori. I considered moving Kotori down, because I'm gonna be honest, Kotori doesn't have a lot going on character-wise. Yeah, she has her whole thing in the anime where she's like, I'm moving, and it's like, just kidding, I guess. But Kotori's so cute. It's like, I think Hanayo and Rin are better characters than Kotori, but Kotori's design is so cute. So I think I'm gonna keep her at 18, even though she's kind of not that interesting of a character. But I don't know, she's cute, and she's endearing, and she's an early supporter of Honoka. Yeah, I don't know. I debated it, but she's staying at 18 for me. Number 17, Ruby. Normally, I can't stand this kind of character. The super shy, super, like, picky, like, whatever. But Ruby gets a lot of development in the anime. And I liked her in the game, too. Like, I think she's very sweet. I think what makes Ruby work is that she's very sweet. She's very honest. And yeah, she's very shy, but it's not so obnoxious where it's, like, actively irritating. I also think she has a great dynamic with Daya. You know, I think that's really fun to sort of, hey, let's have sisters in, like, an idol group. And the idea of, you know, oh, when my sister graduates, I'm gonna miss her. Like, there's really nice stuff there. I try to not let the seiyuu slip into this, but Ruby's seiyuu is hilarious. Normally not a girl I would care about, but she's got some good stuff. Number 16. Oh, boy. Nozomi. Nozomi, you were so high up for me in the game, and then in the anime, you are very gropey. You just can't get your hands off everybody. Stop, Nozomi. Every time, you know, I was watching this with Jay, who had no exposure to Love Live, and every time Nozomi copped a feel on somebody, I was just like, I could feel Jay's eyes on me. And I'm like, this isn't the Nozomi I know. In the game, it's like tickles, I guess. And in the anime, it's more than tickling, and I'm not a fan. So Nozomi, unfortunately, has gone down for me. Like, I still like the character, and especially in the anime, she has a very great role, right? She's kind of like a more successful Karin, in that she's kind of aloof, but in this case, she has a lot more passion for Muse and for the group. If you watch the show. Of course, she and Ellie are married. You know, that's always a bonus. You know, the whole spiritual aspect is fun. I do still like that. But, Nozomi, you gotta stop touching everybody else. So you've gone down in the list. I'm sorry. Number 15. Rina. At this point, we're hitting characters that I just really like. First off, immediately striking design, right? Like, you look at, like, everyone who sees Rina's like, who the fuck's this robot girl? And then she has the whole, like, oh, like, this is a very realistic sort of shyness that I really appreciate seeing in a character. Like, she has trouble expressing herself. Her facial features, she feels like she can't express herself fully. She's very shy, but not in, like, a cartoony way. It's really kind of refreshing, and, like, sure, the whole sort of screen face is a little, you know, a little hard to believe, but it's a kind of a fun take on, like, how can we help this character who has trouble expressing herself express herself? And hey, this is like a fun way to do that. I've seen this shy character who can't make friends and other stuff, and it doesn't work for me in other ways, but this one felt organic. Also, the fact that she's just, like, super tech savvy is a fun part of her character, and her songs rule. I don't know, great design, really nice take on a shy character. Really like her a lot. Number 14, Kanata. This character really surprised me. I was like, oh, what, the sleepy girl? Who cares? And then you realize, wait, no, she's sleepy because she's so busy caring for her sister. Yeah, that's a brilliant take on the sleepy character. Like, the fact that I think some sleepy characters are treated as like, oh, they're not smart or they're lazy, and it's like, no, Kanata is, like, actually, like, a very involved, like, you know, and she's smart. It's just that she literally just works too much. She overworks herself, and that's why she's sleepy. That's such a good take on a character. That, and I think her song Butterfly in the anime is a fucking bop. Really surprised me how much I liked this character. Considering in the original game, when she was a normal girl, I was like, who cares? But her dedication to her sister is really sweet and really, I love Kanata. She's great. Number 13, Yo. Just design alone, Yo is great. She's so cute. But in the Sunshine anime, I was worried because Yo, to me, has always felt a little, like, flat, like, not super interesting. But what I like about Sunshine is, I mentioned this earlier with Ayumu and how that was a failure. Yo wrestles with, like, hey, like, I was Chika's best friend, but now like Riko is kind of like the best friend, I feel, or I'm just not spending as much time with Chika. And she deals with this in a really organic, realistic way of like, yeah, I know I shouldn't feel this way because I know Chika doesn't mean anything by this, but you can't help those feelings. Like, those feelings are very real. And I think Mari's conversation with her is so well done of like, hey, these are natural feelings and you just need to be honest. Just be honest. Don't bottle your emotions in. And so that cemented Yo for me. Like, you know, I already loved her in the game, and then she just felt very real to me. I loved that arc, and she's so sweet, you know. I love Yo. Number 12, Chika. Chika, you have gone up. You have soared up because of the anime. Gonna be honest, in the game, I thought Chika was boring as fuck. In fact, she was my least favorite. I thought she was a nothing character. And in the anime, she is so good. She is an amazing protagonist. Just her drive to like find value in herself is so relatable, so inspiring. And so it's just smart of like, okay, she's someone who feels like she's a nobody. And she wants to feel special. And she's pursuing, like, what makes me... How can I become a special person? How can I become someone who shines? And the anime just tackles that so well. Like, the final moments of Season 2, you know, one of my favorite endings to an anime ever. Discounting the movie. The movie's good, but I'm talking about the show. Just her realization, her journey. Chika, I'm so sorry that I ever... doubted you. You're great. I die for you, Chika. And you're not even in the top 10. Number 11, similar note. Honoka. I liked Honoka in the original game. I thought she was funny. And she's still very funny, but there's still that, you know, she's a very inspiring protagonist. I love her go-getter attitude. She's very, like, you know, direct in the anime, just like going hard. And yeah, so it already built on a solid foundation. I thought she was very cute and funny before, and her sort of strong attitude of we can do this, and then her struggling sometimes, you know, I love that drama. So having her stumble, struggle, and then get back up, never give up, it's good shit. All right, we're in our top 10 now. Number 10, Setsuna. Setsuna has amazing songs. I think the Seiyu is an amazing singer, first off. I love her design, and I love that she's, first off, a giant weeb, and then she also has the personality of, like, I'm the student council president with the glasses, and I'm like, fuck. You can't have both, but she has both. I love that sort of conflicting nature, but it doesn't feel like they're separate characters. I love her passion, and I love that she's a weeb. God, what a weeb. Number 9, Kasumi. I always describe Kasumi as like the Daffy Duck of Love Live. I love that she's always conniving. She's always scheming to like, I'm gonna be the cutest. And, you know, she's always the butt of the joke, but it's always funny, always really endearing. I always say that Nico's looking up from hell going, ah yes, someone has carried on my legacy. Kasumi's hilarious. And at the same time, like, she still is very supportive, right? She's supportive, but she's gonna be her, right? She doesn't care about how others view her and how desperate she is, and that just adds to what makes her so fun. Number 8, Daya. I really like the sort of strong-willed characters who are also very blushy. That's you're gonna see a lot of that going up. Kind of like with Hanayo, her absolutely nerdy knowledge of idols is really endearing. Whenever Daya, you know, blushes or gets flustered, it's always really funny. But yeah, her dynamic with Ruby is great as well. And what I like about her is that she's kind of an antagonistic force in the anime to begin with, but she's pretty supportive and like pretty realistic. She's not like antagonistic just to be annoying, and it feels very organic. Number 7, Maki. Maki, oh my god, she has gone up. I always liked Maki, but she is amazing in the anime. I mean, that first song she plays on the piano is so good. Pyle's singing voice is so good. And also, Nico Maki, man. They are married. As far as blushy girls go, Maki is the blushiest, right? She's the ultimate tsundere. I always go for tsunderes, and I say hooray for tsunderes. Anyway, number 6, Nico. Maki's wife, gotta put her right next to her. For similar reasons why I love Kasumi, I love Nico. She's a selfish little brat, but she's really funny. Nico Ni is iconic. She's unapologetically attention grabby and annoying, and that's why she works. Because she's also really fun to watch fail. And when she gets blushy, again with the blushiness, she's great. Just anyone who goes Nico Ni and their name is Nico, I mean, how can you not like that character? Number 5, Umi. Umi used to be my top girl in Muse. As you can see, she is not anymore. But she's still very strong for me. It wasn't the anime necessarily that did this, because I felt this way. I don't know, she's very responsible, but has kind of like a hot-headed, tempered side to her, which isn't a bad thing. That's why she's still kind of high up. But sometimes she's a little overly harsh, to the point where it's like, alright, calm your jets, Umi. I still like that about her. I like her dynamic with Honoka. But after a certain point, I don't know. Something happened. Number 4, Mari. I'm kind of surprised at this, but because I mean, Mari was always top 3 because she's hilarious. I love her shiny personality. She's always never failed to make me laugh. It's a very different kind of humor than like Nico or Kasumi. Just that bold, bombastic English, and sort of like it's an interesting take on the rich girl, where Maki is just like the oblivious one, and Mari is like, yeah, I'm rich. I go to school in a helicopter, bitch. Hell yeah. I'm the chairwoman. I don't know, she has such a bombastic attitude. It's so fun. And yet, she has some emotional depth too. Like, you know, her fight with Kanan is great. Her words to Yo of like, hey, like, don't waste your friendship being dishonest with yourself. You know, don't make the mistake I did. She can be hilarious and she can be deep. Damn, that is a winning combination for me. Number 3, Yohane. Wow. She was always top 3, but it was always Riko, Mari, Yohane. But the anime, man, she's so good in the anime. She's so endearing. Like, again, butt of the joke. I love the girls that are the butt of the joke, but can really take it well. And Yohane is just, you know, they very early on addressed the Chunibyo thing in a very kind of fun way. Like, Yohane knows she's not actually like a demon girl. If she really thought she was like a demon girl or like a, you know, whatever, then it'd be annoying. But she's very aware, and that's what makes her fun, right? Is because she knows it's a shtick, and everyone else knows it's a shtick, but she's like, it's not a shtick, but she knows it's a shtick. It's such a funny dynamic. Then she has some boss-ass costumes. Even in one of the ending sequences where they're like all sitting and then she just topples over. She's just ripe for physical comedy, and she's just an endearing character. I love Yohane. Number 2, who's it gonna be? Riko. This is very close, but Riko, man, I loved her in the game. She's basically Umi but better. Like, she feels very like relatable in that I've always kind of wanted to be better, right? And she's also the responsible one, very flustered. I love her, you know, getting scared by Shitake. But also in the anime, she has a great relationship with Chika, where they both inspire each other to get better and better at what they do. And it's sort of Riko sort of going, you know, I want to become like a better, better. I want to become more honest with myself. And she just feels so real in that way. And also, as much as Chika Riko surprised me, Riko Yohane, I think, is where it's at. And number 1, it's Ellie. I am a sucker for, well, first off, blondes, but also, like, you know, she's the responsible, mature one, right? She's the mom, but she's got that sort of flustered side to her. She's very sweet, but also kind of antagonistic in the beginning, which I don't mind. In the game, she's got some good outfits and some good cards, because it's got to be a mix of everything, right? It can't just be the anime, because if it were just off the anime, I don't think Ellie gets as much screen time as everybody else, and so she doesn't get to develop as much, I feel. But based off just everything, you know, singing voice, looks, the cards, in the game, and everything, she's still number 1 for me. Like, if I had to buy, like, if I could only own like one nice Love Live figure, it'd be Ellie. All right, that was it. That was quite an endeavor, and I'm sure some of you are very upset. I'm sure some of you really like some of those lower rated girls. Just know that I like most, if not all of them. Maybe not the bottom 3 as much. I like all of them in some way. They're all good characters. Well, not they're all good characters. I'm just digging a grave deeper and deeper. I'm just gonna call it here. That was the authoritative Love Live ranking. If you are curious about a hypothetical 10th girl from the game, she would be pretty high up, and she would probably be, you know, I won't say, but she'd be pretty high up, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you're mad, I'm glad.